Okay, so let's have an... nežinau, lietuviškai čia kalbėtume ar angliškai, gal abiem kalbom vienu metu. So we'll do both Lithuanian and English, just I go one on the other. Pradėsim su naujos kompozicijos sukūrimu, we'll start with new composition, ir jinai bus nedidelė, tarkim, 100 pikselių and 100 gram. So we'll start with very small composition, let's say 150 pixels. No, we don't need 37 minutes. And 2 seconds, let's say. So I do some sort of composition, and for now I will just do whatever, just as an example of how to export gifs. So padarysiu bilę ką, tik tai kad pažiūrėt, kaip eksportuoti gifus. Tai anchor point tool. Nežinau, čia gal pasidėsiu. So I have anchor point tool, I change my anchor point position, then I will do something, I have no idea what will I do. Pagalvojam, kas čia gali būti, fiksuoju rotation, fiksuoju scale, fiksuoju position. Just have 2-3 keyframes and everything, because I still don't know what I'm gonna do. And say in big frames, the thing is gonna detach itself from the top. And so copy. So you see shortcuts, bet shortcuts matytumėt, Ctrl-C, esu čia, Ctrl-V, pastovė, bam, atsipalaiduoja, and then it goes back, not as far, grįžta atgal, and it loses energy all the time when he does it. It does it. Praranda energiją ir nurimsta. Ir kas tada? And then what we'll have a keyframe for position, because we want it to go down. So it goes down. Might be able to rotate it so it's easier to control it later on. So it not only moves, but also rotates. Aš jį ir pasuksiu tik tam, kad po to būtų lengviau valdyti. Čia gavote? What we have here? Okay. So it's unrealistic that it moves to the side. Definitely we should have something like that. Žiūrim kaip dabar. And let's say we'll have cushion stretch here. Sakykim, kad turėsim cushion stretch čia. Ištisų suspaudimų. Taip, tai smūgių metu spaudės, dėl to originalus scalas vieno kadru atgal. This frame goes one frame back before the contact. Once in the contact, we'll scale it. And you see the scaling goes, starts from this point, or we'll have to compensate with the position, so it looks good. And then we'll get back to its original. Jo, kaip matot, skeilinasi nuo šito centro, kuris yra kampe. Aš jį turėjau kampe, kad suktųsi gerai viršui. Dabar man nepatogu skeilinti. Reikia kompensuoti, į kairę pasukti ir pastumti ir taip toliau. And let's say it covers the shape. And it bounces up a little bit. And it goes down. Grįžta žemyn. Vėl skeilinį pastumiu. Čia bus originali forma. Position, scale, scale. That's our original scale. Copy. Have original here as well. Anyway, so it will be as it used to be. I mean, its original shape. It will change over here. And 2 seconds are up, they'll just move up and return to its original shape, and that will be it. Yeah, I still have it on the clipboard, or I can just paste it. Okay, pažiūrėk, kad gausim. Let's see what happens. Not perfect, but fine. We're not gonna waste time for that, because I just want to show how to render gifs. So, Taip, negaišim laiko, nelabai gerai su čia atrodo, bet tebūnie. Pavadinam jūrą. So, dabar norėsim išsaugoti kadrų seką. Yra keletas būdų, kaip išsaugoti gifų. Ir mes pažiūrėsim dar 3. So there are 3 ways, probably more, 3 ways of saving gifs. We'll go through all of them. So the first one, pirmas būdas. We'll go with media encoder. Eisim per media encoderį. Kartu įsijungiu photoshopą. Vėliau nereikės. Turn on Photoshop because we need it later. Okay, that's our media encoder. Here we go. So where I'm gonna save it? Kur mes išsaugosim? Atrodo čia. So you find a folder where you will save it. So that's media encoder. And now it says MP4, but no, we don't want MP4. Dabar sako MP4 saugosim, bet mes nenorim MP4, tai čia pakeisim failą į gifą. So that's a gif, no audio, of course. And that's it, probably nothing to change here. Atrodo, kad nieko čia mes nepakeisim, tiesiog pasirinkau gifą ir tikiuosi, kad viskas bus gražu ir gerai. Pažiūrėsim. Okay. Play. Ir išsaugojo. Dabar, kad pažiūrėti, ką mes čia padarėm, mums reikės naršyklės. So to view what we did, let's do it with the browser. So find my folder here. Susirasiu tą folderį. Folder 2. And we see that actually it's saved as a sequence. Ir matom, kad jis išsaugo kaip kadrų seką. Kadrų seką mes sudėtum Photoshop'e į tikrą gifą. So unfortunately it saved us as file sequence, and we will deal with that in Photoshop. So, but the other option of doing the same thing without media encoder, padarysim tą patį, bet be media encoderio, yra per render queue. Good old render queue. So, if you don't have, for some reason, media encoder, you, instead of lossless, you choose, let's say, JPEG sequence or whatever, any image format, bet kokio paveiksliuko formatą pasiimam, tarkim, JPEG sequence seką. Ok, kur saugoti? No. Ir saugosiu čia. Aš nepaleisiu renderint, but I won't start rendering because we'll have the same result as here, just JPEGs instead of gifs. So file name underscore if you need it, and then 00001. The next one will be 00002. So how many you need, you decide. Čia vietoj šitų bus 001, po to 002 ir taip toliau. Tai aš nerenderinu, nes jau turiu. So I'm not gonna render, but you just hit this button and it renders. We'll get a file sequence here, but I already have the gifs, so I don't want to do the same thing again. So that's without media encoder. The next thing is we go to Photoshop. Second is shit. Tip, sekundę. We'll try to clean things up a bit. Purge all. Get rid of this for a moment. Not enough. I have to change my cache disk location. Okay, and reload Photoshop, please. So Photoshop uses scratch disks. So when it lacks memory in random accessible memory, whatever you call in your PC, it starts to work with a hard drive, and it's set somewhere. So in my case, it's somewhere here. And there's not enough space on that disk, so it complains. Scratch disks, yeah, D drive, surprise. And if I change it only after I restart Photoshop, this will take effect. Tai mano kompe nebuvo pakankamai vietos, o Photoshopas, kai išnaudoja visą ramą, jisai puola naudoti, kai ramas pasibaigia, puola naudoti hardą ir naudoja scratch diską. Ir yra kažkur nustatyta, kur ir kiek duodi Photoshopui scratch disko, ir pas mane nebuvo vietos didiske, dėl to čia kapinėjosi. Tai galima per edit preferences ir pasikeis diską, bet reiks perkrauti Photoshopą, kad šitie efektai ką nors veiktų. Okay, so now we'll import sequence. Dabar įkelsim visus gifus savo. So load files into stack, that's what we want. Mums reikia sudėti visus failus į vieną kompoziciją. From load files into stack. Taip, tai dar kartą load files into stack. Once more, we go to load files into stack. And we choose where they are. Surandam, kur mūsų failai yra. Ir reikia visus pažymėti. We need to select all of them here. Okay. No. So this one only we need when if the camera moves, and we want to kind of make that the camera would not move if it moves slightly, shakes a little bit. Photoshop can try to compensate that. So šitą jungsim tik tokiu atveju, jeigu buvo filmuotas vaizdas, kamera biški juda ir mes tikimės, kad Photoshopas gali biški kompensuoti kameros judesį, bet šiaip mums to nereikia. Ir okay. Now wait a bit, and you see it loads all of them here. That was not a good idea to go for GIFs. It takes longer time than JPEGs or something. Reikėjo man paleisti JPEGų seką, o ne GIFų, nes, kaip matot, kažkodėl lėčiau tai veikia, tai vyksta. Kompas miega. Neišnaudoja Photoshopas kompo galimybių. Great, so Photoshop loaded all the separate files into a stack of layers. Tai Photoshopas užlaudino visus mūsų paveiksliukus į vieną krūvą, stack, tai būtų šieno kupetą. So, darykite JPEGus, nedarykite gifų, kai eksportinat iš After, lietokai viskas veikia. So now we go to window, einam į window ir atsidarom animation arba timeline. So we open up timeline and we want to create a frame animation. Norim to frame animation, jeigu nėra, pas jūs yra video timeline, tai pasikeičia frame animation. You can choose these two, we need frame animation. And we click it here. Paspaudžiam. Dabar čia mes imam make frames from layers. Čia paklikite, which language I will speak on? So we make frames from layers. Here, and play. Ir pažiūrim, kaip padaro. Ar matomis eina atvirkščia tvarka. You see that it goes in reverse order. So we need to rearrange this. Reverse frames. Pakeisti tvarką, žodžiu, pradžia, pabaiga, ir pakeičiam. Ir pažiūrim dar kartą. And that seems to be all right now. We could change the speed of how GIFs are represented by selecting, and you see it lasts as fast as your computer can play. That's how it plays. Or you have options in seconds. It's not in frame rates. That's a bit confusing. You can select a lot of them and change it for many frames. Tai galim, kaip matot, pakeisti greitį, kaip greitai rodo. Dabar naudiliai yra, reiškia, kaip jūsų kompas kiek greitai sugeba parodyti, tiek ir rodys. Kompo galingumo skirsis greitai. Čia galim padaryti kažkokį konkretų greitį, bet matom, neturim kadrų per sekundę, tai biškai keista tą gifą valdyti. And now we save the GIF. So, or GIF, I think it's GIF. We go to export, save for web legacy. In file export, save for web legacy. So it's old school exporter, but it's very good for our animated GIFs. And how many colors do we need? I don't think we need so many colors. Of course, the less colors we use, and the smaller the size is the file. And of course, we want it to be as small as possible. For 4 colors, that's totally enough for. In my animation here, use pictures, it will be much more, it will require much more color. Jeigu naudojat nuotraukas ar video kažkokį, aišku, reikės žymiai daugiau spalvų. Bet stengiatės kuo mažiau turėt, kad failiukas užimtų kuo mažiau. 10 kilobyte, 10 kilobytes. It predicts it will be 10 kilobytes. Let's have a look. Whoa, that's way too fast. And here we can change it to loop or do something else. So we will play once or forever. So forever. Čia pakeičiam, kad jis vieną kartą pragrotų ir sustotų, arba visą laiką lūpintųsi. Tai mes tą naudosim. Bet aš noriu pakeisti greitį, čia man gerokai per greitai. I want to change the speed because it's way too fast for me here. So select all of those and say, let's try 0.1. Pabandysim 0.1. Čia gerai paskaičiuoti, kad turėtume tikrą kadrą per sekundę skaičių, kaip afteriuose mes darėm 3 kadrų per sekundę. Aš dariau taip. Ne, kad tai geras pasirinkimas, bet aš taip patingėjau pakeisti. And now it's too slow. So obviously we should count properly how much we need, you know, because in After Effects I was doing only 30 frames per second. I should have done 25, but in front of that, I'll do 0.05. Let's try that. 2 colors is good enough. 4 colors. I can change, you know, 3. That will be good enough for me. It's a bit too slow, but whatever. So I'll just save it. Išsaugosiu tiesiog biškį lėtakas man, bet tegu ne dabar tingiu taisyti. Ir išsaugom. So first gif. Save. Done. Now we want to view it. Dabar noriu pražiūrėti šitą savo darbą. Čia. Ir gif. Pas mane ir kiti gifai. Tai nesusipainiot. Ir aš žiūrėsiu tiesiog naršyklį. So I'll be watching, viewing this gif just in the browser. That looks good enough, and it loops. That's what we need. So we have a gif. Now, of course, according to the assignment, you create 9 of them. So pagal užduotį padarom 9 tokius gifus su iliustracijom mūsų reiškiasi, kaip jisai, iliustracijos animacijos principų. Dabar aš einu į bet kokį HTML editorių. What you see is what you get. I'm not sure if I'm spelling that correctly. So I'm going to any HTML editor, online HTML editor, just Googling something. I think the second result is this one. I'm not saying it should be this one, whichever you want, that's good. For us, we just want to generate a HTML file. So here you will work as in a Word document, and here we will get a code. Čia dirbsim kaip su Word'u, o čia gausim kodą. Source editor. Komentaras svarbu. Gerai, so first thing we want to do is we want to make a table. Let's make a table. Our assignment is 3 by 3, 9 images. Okay, so we have our table here, 9 by 9. Turim savo lentelę 9 ant 9, senovinių HTML formatų įrašytą. Dabar norim čia įdėti paveiksliukus. We want to add images here. Now I'll add just whatever. Įdedu bilę ką tik tai, kad matytume, kur pakeisti kodą. Nusikopinu visą tekstą. I'll copy all our code. Well, let's say code. And I open Notepad. Any text editor, like Word, it doesn't. So any text editor would work, but Word will not. Big Word editors will not work. Simple text editors will work because we don't want it to add any more symbols. Like Word would add more symbols. Like if I hit enter in Word, actually there's a symbol. Let's have a look. So say I have a word, I write something, I hit enter, write something else, enter. If we click this, You see there are special characters. If I would even from Word, if I would say saved HTML file, there would be special characters and so on. So that's wrong. We don't want that. Okay, now we have our web page here, and you see we have image source, and we have wherever it's saved. Now we'll have to change it with local. We didn't put our gifs somewhere online. Of course, if you did, that will be the address of your gifs. But since I didn't, I have it locally here, so I'll just swap it to this. Taip, tai jeigu turėtumėt online kažkur susidėję savo gifukus, tada čia sudėtumėt tą adresą kiekvieno gifo. Mano atveju aš lokaliai viską turiu, čia tiesiog folderį, nieko neturiu online, tai dėl to ir dedu tiesiog adresą, čia vadinasi relative adresas, reiškia, nėra c2./ bla bla bla, yra tam pačiam folderiui, kur bus šitas mūsų HTML dokumentas. So, and we save it as, say, 9, 9 paveiksliukai, or 9 images. And we don't want text file. This will be our HTML file. HTML. Do I have a dot? Yes. Let's see if it works. So I just grab empty tab in my browser, and I open the thing, and you see it works. Now, of course, we don't want to, we want to have some things like we don't want, how do you say, we want the size to be exactly as the images, so we will have to center our images. How do you center? I think we don't have a line. Center, let's say, and you'll see that it has an extra tag here for centering. Now this one here says it's 20 pixels by 20, because the stupid image is 20, but I know that my own image is 150, so I'll just fix it to 150. 150. So you can do some editing here as well, and so on. Let me copy it again. Close the Word. We don't need Word at all. So I'll do it again. And now I'm just changing. Come on. Yeah. So. Pakeitėm dydį. Žinau, kad mano paveiksliukas 105 pikselių. Ir čia galime įdėti image style, block, margin left, gal center reikėtų. So maybe we want to have margin. I don't know. That's how do you position it inside the table. But the most important part here under source. This is the end of the statement of the allocation. We'll just do that. Now here I'll change it to this one. Of course, you will use different ones, because you'll make 9 of them. Ir čia naudotume 9 atskirus paveiksliukus, nes juos padarėt 9. Sukeičiu. Čia galima būtų naudoti find and replace. You could use find and replace or something like that if there were more text, but I'll just do it manually. So you see the first one has more text here because, yeah, whatever. Let's try. So I saved it here. I'll just refresh it. Boom. Now, of course, we could center the whole page. We could orient it. Maybe I should have bigger images, or maybe I could show them bigger. Right, where is it? 150. Let's center the whole thing. So I want to. How do you center the whole thing? I'm not sure we can do it directly here in the editor, but let's Google something like that. HTML center add tag. body center. Let's see. Taip, pasiūlymas būtų toks. Po body visą puslapį centruot. Žiūrėjau, man pavyks, mes neturim page, tai pradėsiu čia. Center. Ir visas šitas yra prieš konkretų table, šitas table stalą, prieš lentelę, ir jis galioja visam puslapiui. So this is before the whole table we have here, therefore it refers to whole page. So I'm using this, I know that it works, and I will have it after comment. So here, of course, we would say something else. My assignment, and I cannot spell assignment. And let's save the document and see if we can reload it. Now it's centered. Basically, this way we can control how our gifs are made. Actually, why am I saying gifs or gifs? So there's always an old debate. How should I pronounce it? Taip, čia anglakalbiam aktualu. Ar ištarti gif ar gif? GIF or GIF. It's a bitmap image format. Blah blah blah. So graphic interchange format. So do you say GIF? Graphic. I would say it's GIF because you don't say graphic interchange format. You say graphics interchange format. Therefore, it's GIF. Right, so that would be it. That's how we created an HTML document. We can make it much cooler by adding centers. Maybe we could remove the line here, and we can do all of it in any online editor. So here, with this table properties, with height. So čia galėtume visiems duoti savo paveiksliuko dydį. Border 0, for instance. Galima tai 0 borderį padaryti. Galim iš karto savo paveiksliuko dydį įdėti. Alignment, tarkim, centrą padarau. Border style hidden, kad nebūtų lentelės ir taip toliau. Ir ką mes gavom, turim daugiau aprašymo apie mūsų table, va čia eilutė. Prieš the body table. So we get more description on how our table is represented. So it's after this and before. That's actually right here. All right, border 1. I will change to border 0, margin, and we change a bit more of the stuff. Let's have a look how it looks. Let's see how it looks like. Now there is no border, and this way we can control stuff here. So text editor, you save it as HTML, and here we go.